Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you have had a great week. In fact, I hope that all of you have had a great 2022. I know it's been a challenging year for many people, and I hope that you're looking forward to a fantastic weekend and a fantastic New Year's celebration. Hi Fwang. Hi Chayani. Welcome Sarah, our chat moderator, and hi Sunita. Students, this is a members chat class. Of course, everybody is welcome to watch, and it's a good idea. We are looking at an IELTS reading. Specifically, we will be looking at IELTS reading about the lifespan of the tortoise. The materials, this reading passage, it's brought to you from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. For those students who have access to our premium package, you will find this reading passage on aehelp.com. This is what the website looks like. We use these websites for the materials. They're basically the textbooks for these live classes. So if you enjoy these live classes, definitely click this big red button. It's just above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner, an IELTS test registration center. So you are in great hands with us. All you need to do is just click those big red buttons and then enter the discount code that I'm giving you right now. We have the code LEARN10, I believe, right now going on for a 10% discount coming from our latest video release. For general IELTS students, gieltshelp.com, green background, click that big red button. The reading section for general IELTS is different from the academic IELTS, although passage 3, or I should say section 3, in the general IELTS is very, very similar to the academic. So pay attention to that. The strategies from this class will really help you master the test, and then, of course, to get those better band scores. Welcome, Romelia. Students, you can definitely get our apps as well from your app stores. Our apps link to the websites. For the academic, get the app Academic IELTS Help. For the general, get our app General IELTS Help. And then when you click more in the app, you can link to the websites so that you have the same account or the same shared account between the web format and the app format. Instagram, we are always putting up new videos, new vocabulary, IELTS_AEhelp, GIELTS help. We've got lots of fun videos, reels, I should say, there for you. So check that out. And whenever you have questions about the IELTS or about life, send us an email, adrian@aehelp.com, admin@aehelp.com. Either one of those emails will get you in contact with us. We've got classes today and tomorrow, so we'll be kind of celebrating the end of the year with all of you, which is kind of fun and exciting. We've got reading right now, and then we will have task 2 writing coming up in about 2 hours. That's for subscribers, so make sure to subscribe, hit the notification button. It's a really good idea to subscribe to our channel if you're going to do the IELTS exam. We are world leaders when it comes to IELTS preparation, so just by subscribing to the YouTube channel, you're going to get lots and lots of help from us to get your best score possible. Tomorrow we'll have speaking part 2, speaking part 3. So definitely join me for that. And in the meantime, you can check out our latest release on the YouTube channel. It's a speaking practice video, first person, karaoke style. It's really sweet. Check it out. Make sure to copy and repeat. You'll hear some upgrades in this video. You will hear some prompt sounds that will motivate you to start speaking and stop speaking. Any members, check out that video. We just released it like I think an hour ago, so it's really fresh. And it's got a kind of an interesting new sound effect that you'll see there. So, Nishant, nice to have you in here as a new member. It's fantastic. Make sure to interact with me. I'm looking at the chat, everybody, constantly, so definitely interact. Let's have fun together practicing reading. The first strategy for reading, you hear me say this quite often, is look at the title and the picture if there is one. And predict the information. So let's do that now, members. Okay. Here is the passage for today's lesson. And I'm just checking to make sure that it's fitting all in the screen the way I want. Why do tortoises live so long? There we go. Look at that beautiful animal. I love tortoises. I don't know about you. I find them, there's something special about the tortoise, for me anyway. They're just such, I think it's because they're such gentle creatures. They're just so, they're in Zen, right? If you've ever seen Kung Fu Panda, it's no wonder that the Grand Master is a tortoise. Yes, absolutely, Fuang. There's the tortoise emoji. There's a good reason why that emoji's there. So this is the tortoise, and here the title is a question. Why do tortoises live so long? So the author really wants you thinking about this. They want you to consider the question, of course, right? So what do you think? Why do tortoises live so long? What is this author going to discuss? Animal topics are fairly popular in the IELTS. So it's a good idea to read some information about animals and to think about the types of information that's given when we're discussing animals. So here we have this topic of tortoise, right? Why do tortoises live so long? Okay. And you should have an answer for that before you start reading. So you should come up with some of your own ideas, because there's a good chance that you have some good ideas around this, and that will help you. What do you think, Nishant, Raquea, Romelia, Joao? Nice to have you on board. Fuang, what do you think? Sarah, why do tortoises live so long? What's the reason for this? I know that they live very long, like they live a couple hundred years. So I think even humans are envious of the tortoise's lifespan. So Joao says genetics. Well, I think that's the obvious part, Joao. So they clearly have genetics that enable a very long life. What is it about their genetics? Fuang, very smart. Fuang says they seem to have a very slow metabolism. Metabolism is the rate of energy breakdown and use in the body. Okay, so for those of you who aren't sure about this word metabolism, that's the definition, okay? The metabolic rate, okay, you can even think about this. Metabolic rate, there's your adjective form. Metabolism is the noun, metabolic is the adjective. So the metabolic rate is the speed at which our body processes energy in terms of breaking down food, converting it into usable energy. Okay, Chani says maybe they have a strong immune system. And viewers, members, don't forget to be visual, right? So, I mean, when you look at a tortoise, what is the most observable physical feature of the tortoise? So when you look at the tortoise, there should be one part of the tortoise that is immediately like, boom, there it is. That's the tortoise. Clearly, That's a big feature of the tortoise. So when you're looking at a picture, use your eyeballs. Your eyeballs are your greatest weapons against bad scores on IELTS, and it's true. Humans are visual. The entire back part of our brain is used for visual processing, so we need to rely on that supercomputer there. Yeah, Chayani, absolutely, right? Look at that big shell. Boom. That huge shield on their back. It's not a case, Romelia, although it's a good try. It's a shell. It's a tortoise shell, right? Sarah says they protect themselves using their shell. Shell. Okay. Everybody's familiar with the gas station shell. They have the seashell as the symbol of the gas station, right? Fossil fuels. So shell, yes. I think a lot of countries have shell stations, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen them in a few different countries on my travels. So, yes, they have a strong shell. Have a strong shell to protect them from certain predators. Okay. Now, whenever you're thinking about an animal, right, you should always think about their habits and their habitats, okay? So whenever you are reading an article, I'm especially thinking about IELTS here, an article about an animal, you should strongly think or consider their habits and habitats. Okay? Again, when you're seeing new words, viewers, write them down. The goal here is learning, right? So habits are their behaviors, their regular behaviors. And their habitats are where they live. Right? Those are good words to know. So when you're thinking about the tortoise, what is a very well-known fact about the tortoise's behavior? Okay. So I'm encouraging you to, use your critical thinking here. What is a well-known fact about the tortoise's behavior? And I think all of us know this. So as soon as I say it, you will say, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm trying to see in the chat if somebody's mentioned this, but I don't see it yet. And it's connected with the metabolism part, like why their metabolism is slow. Yeah, Chen, that's exactly. They're very slow moving. So tortoises move very slowly. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll live to 200 years if I teach IELTS lessons like this. Perhaps. People are like, okay, I'm speeding this video up to 2 times. Yeah, no, they move really slowly, right? I want to live to 200 years. Mind you, I'll probably get half the experience, but move really slowly. Slow movements. Okay. All right. So very slow movements. How about their habitats? Where do tortoises live? Karina says they come back to their birthplace. Karina, I think you're thinking about the turtle. Turtle is the sea turtle where they live in the ocean. Tortoise is the land animal. Okay, so don't confuse those two. This is a tortoise, not a turtle. Right? We have that listening exercise about the loggerhead turtle, which lives in the ocean, but this is a tortoise. Where do they live? Where do these giant tortoises live? Anybody knows where they live? So tortoises, big giant tortoises, tend to live in remote places, often on islands. Right? Okay. All right, everybody. So we've done our prediction. So far, so good. Okay. I don't need you to become a biologist, and I don't need you to understand the exact genetic code that is responsible for the tortoise's shell. You just have to kind of think about these common concepts, right? So here we have this beautiful creature. We're visualizing it. We're thinking about its habitat. We're thinking about its habits. We're thinking about, what it looks like, why it might live so long. And then we go and we jump and look at the questions. So here we go. Let's take a quick peek at the questions before we read. Which paragraph contains the following information? Okay, so here, obviously, skimming, scanning, not an effective strategy because we don't know where this is, and the order, it's completely mixed up, right? So number 1 could be the last paragraph, and it's paraphrased. So trying to skim or scan for this information would be virtually useless. So we just read it. All of this information is somewhere in the passage. Okay. So let's read it. Factors that lower tortoises' life expectancy. Tortoises being used as a food source. Separation from predators contributes to their long lifespan. Some animals have different methods of ensuring the species lives on. Tortoises have difficulty adapting to new environmental pressures. Okay, so this is a matching information. We're matching these statements to the paragraph. Okay, when you're at home, what you want to do is you want to paraphrase these. Okay, so paraphrase at home, all right? In the exam, paraphrase in your head. Okay. So let's do that. Here's the challenge, okay? Members, viewers, paraphrase this. Factors that lower tortoises' life expectancy. You paraphrase these first 3. Okay. I will paraphrase the last 3 or the last 2. We'll see who finishes first. Okay. So you paraphrase these first ones. I'll paraphrase the last 2. Okay, I'll do that quietly. I'll give you a moment, members, to do this exercise, and then I'll take a look at what you wrote. All right. Paraphrasing, for those of you who are not sure what that means, para means parallel, so similar, and then phrase means wording, so it's similar wording. So let me show you with this number 4. If you're not sure, just take a look at what I do here with number 4. Some animals have different methods of ensuring the species lives on. Okay, so read what I just wrote there, and then you'll see what I mean by paraphrasing. Number 5, I'm going to do the same. And if you don't know a word and you're having difficulty, you can always use the thesaurus. Okay. All right. So I've paraphrased number 4, number 5. I'm still waiting for the paraphrasing for 1, 2, and 3, everybody. Practicing paraphrasing before your IELTS exam is extremely important because that is the main tool used by the IELTS examiners to test your English. Okay. So here's my number 4. Oh, there we go. We've got some paraphrasing going on in the chat now. Meanwhile, I'll read my paraphrasing. So number 4, some animals have different methods of ensuring the species lives on. I paraphrase that as certain creatures have a variety of ways to make sure that they survive. Live on means to survive. Okay. And then tortoises have difficulty adapting to new environmental pressures. Tortoises have challenges changing to suit novel difficulties in their surroundings. Okay, there's lots of ways to paraphrase, not just the way I'm doing it. There's tons of different ways to paraphrase. The key is to find the right way. Okay, we've got some number ones. Chen says, components that decrease tortoise lifespan. Yeah, very good, Chen. That works. Andrew says, agents that adversely affect tortoises' lifespan. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take that one, Andrew. Agents that adversely affect tortoises' lifespan. Yeah, very good. That works. Okay. Number 2, Chayani says tortoise can be consumed. It's a good start, Chayani. It's not quite accurate, though. We need to be accurate when we paraphrase. It's not just that they can be consumed, it's that they are being consumed, okay? Like this, Chayani. Tortoises are consumed for nutrition. Okay? For number 2. Number 3, I still don't see any paraphrasing, students. Tan, Sarah, Romelia, Sunita. Students, when you reach an intermediate level of English, your number one way of improving your vocabulary, your grammar, your communication is through paraphrasing. I strongly believe that, okay? So the more you paraphrase, the faster you will improve to an upper intermediate and advanced level, okay? A person who is intermediate in English means that they have the ability to talk fluently and express most of their ideas. They do that using the words that they already know. To go past that, you need to paraphrase, okay? Sarah says, I'm quite sick to be using English. Sarah, yes, I can empathize. I'm fighting colds here for the last 2 months. You can even hear it right now, even in my voice. But we fight on. We fight on. As they say, Sarah, the willow tree shows its strength in the winter months. Right? Okay. Chen, no need to delete paraphrasing. Okay. Fuang says, each fauna have a dozen of ways to ensure that they exist. For number 4, Fuang, it's not bad. It's okay. Andrew says, absence of predators positively influences the tortoises. Yeah, instead of absence, Andrew, I would do isolation. Isolation from animals that prey on the tortoise. Try to, Andrew, really try to paraphrase all of the key words. So even paraphrase the word predators, okay? One way to paraphrase, students, is by definition, okay? So the definition of a predator is an animal that preys on another animal, or an animal that hunts and eats another animal. So isolation from animals that prey on the tortoise increases the tortoise's longevity. Yeah, and here we're learning nice ways to say lifespan, right? So the key topic here is long life, right? So the length of life, and we're learning these important words right now, length of life or long life is measured as lifespan or longevity, right? And learning those 2 words before reading this passage when practicing at home is a very, very good idea. Okay, so nice. So we have these, we're clear on these. Now we can get into some of the other questions. Choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer. Short answer questions, all of the information is in the passage. These are good to read before the passage. They usually come in the order of the passage. Skimming and scanning might work slightly for these. Again, remember that they are paraphrased, but you might be able to do a little bit of skimming and scanning for these questions, okay? So number 6, the causes of the tortoise's long life are biological and something. While salmon lay thousands of eggs at once, tortoises rely on their something to continue the species. Unlike the tortoise, animals such as the something have very high metabolisms. The tortoise's something protects them from attacks, thus lengthening their life. Okay, we've read that. And then we've got some true, false, not given 4 questions. True, false, not given, students, do not read these before the passage. It's just confusing. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's false. We should not read it because the information will just be confusing for our brains. We won't remember if we read the question or we read it in the passage. So just ignore the true, false, not given questions before you read the passage. Okay. So now what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to work together through this passage to read it, to build our reading fluency, to build our reading comprehension, to read our building fluency. And this is a fluency exercise here for the start, okay? So fluency exercise, read aloud. Aloud means you can hear yourself along with the native British English speaker from the website. Okay, now everybody will be able to do this together through YouTube with me. So this is CD 5, track 5 in our audio materials on the website. Again, this website that we're using for these live classes for this one is aehelp.com. It's this one here. To get the premium package, click that big red button that's right there. That's just above my head. When you do that, you have your My Student account. In your My Student account, you have computer-based practice exams, you have lesson videos, and you have the audio CDs right there. That's what we're using right now. So this is CD 5, track 5. We're going to listen and read this passage with the British speaker for fluency. Okay, so here we go. CD 5. Let's do this.
Earthquake preparedness.
Oh, it's not the right one.
Of all natural disasters, earthquake.
Oh, sorry. It's,
now turn to section 4.
Why do tortoises live so long?
Sorry, the track's a little bit mixed up there. It's track 6. Okay, so get ready to read with me. Here we go. All right. Let me turn up the volume here for us a little bit. There we go. Okay.
Tortoises are some of the longest-lived creatures in nature. They can live so long that scientists have yet to fully document the lifespan of these hard-shelled reptiles. Reports, however, indicate that certain species of tortoise can live up to 200 years, far longer than the average human lifespan. The reasons tortoises live so long are evolutionary and biological, though the population of these ancient creatures is declining due to low reproduction rates and increased predation. Nature is incredibly diverse, but the common factor among creatures is the need to reproduce. Some creatures, such as humans, have small numbers of young which are cared for diligently. Others, such as salmon, have no interaction with their offspring whatsoever. Instead, salmon rely on the sheer number of eggs they lay. They lay so many eggs that some are bound to survive to adulthood. While some animals rely on care or vast numbers of eggs, the tortoise relies on the longevity of their life. Female tortoises can produce offspring for well over a century. This is one reason tortoises live so long, so they can reproduce many times and thus continue the species. Reproduction, however, is not a cause of tortoises' longevity. The most fundamental cause of their longevity is their incredibly slow metabolism. A creature's metabolism is the rate at which they process food and energy. Some animals, such as the hummingbird, have very fast metabolisms in order to power their high-energy existences. Conversely, tortoises have very slow metabolisms because they have very few energy expenditures. In general, creatures with slow metabolisms live longer than those with faster metabolisms. Due to its low metabolism, the tortoise can live for up to a year without food or water. When explorers were travelling to the Galapagos Islands in the 18th and 19th centuries, it was common for sailors to take tortoises on board the ship as they left the islands. Since tortoises survived so long without food or water, they were able to provide the sailors with a very long-lasting supply of fresh meat aboard the ship. Metabolism alone, however, does not explain the great age to which the tortoise can live. Critical to the tortoise's longevity is their hard shell, which protects them from predators. Every long-lived creature in nature has a mechanism for protection. Some animals have speed to effect a quick escape from predation. Some use intelligence to outwit predators. Some use poison against predators. And some have physical protection, like the tortoise. In addition to its hard outer shell, the tortoise is also a large animal, and in general, larger animals tend to live longer than smaller animals. A final cause of tortoises' longevity is their island habitat. Animals which live on islands tend to live longer because they are kept separate from many of the most dangerous predators. Instead of developing energy-inefficient methods of keeping safe from predators, and thus requiring an increased metabolism, tortoises are free to allocate their energy to extending their lifespan and maintaining a very low metabolism. Though tortoises have developed an extraordinary ability to live a long life, today this ability is threatened by a number of factors. First, and perhaps most significant, is predation by humans. In the past, tortoises and humans did not commonly coexist, but today tortoises are killed by poachers who value the tortoise's shell. Second, the contamination of tortoise habitats has put tortoise young at risk. For the first 5 years of a tortoise's life, they are prone to predators such as rats. Originally, such predators did not share the tortoise's island habitat, but through the introduction of rats and other species to the habitat, it has put the tortoise at risk. Finally, the tortoise's slow metabolism means that they are very slow and virtually incapable of adapting to these new pressures. If tortoise populations are not looked after, they will almost certainly become extinct.
Okay, students, so again, that audio is available from the website, aehelp.com, and definitely use that audio when you have access to the premium course, when you click that big red button there. And same with the general IELTS, so use the audio. It's very, very useful for improving your fluency and for pronunciation and other factors for your English practice. All right, so that was a bit of fluency, pronunciation practice with that native British English speaker. Now, members, I'm going to have us read this passage again, and I'm going to look for volunteers to read this passage before we answer the questions. And we're going to do some comprehension exercises, okay? So now we're going to do what's called comprehension exercise. That means understanding the passage, okay? And this is an important point here, that when you're improving your reading skills, separate your comprehension exercises from your fluency exercises and then combine them. So don't try to improve both at the same time. That happens usually anyways, but really kind of separate them out. So read it once with a British read-along like this. Improve your fluency and then focus more on the comprehension elements after. Okay, so comprehension exercise. Read each paragraph. Identify or summarize the main idea. And visualize the content by including yourself. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean here. I'll do paragraph 1. I'll do the first paragraph as an example. We've got quite a few new members as well, so I'm going to show you with the introduction, paragraph A, what I mean by this. And then you'll be able to volunteer and read and do this for paragraph B, C, D, E, F, I think is the last one. Okay, so this is what I mean. Here we go. Again, read this introductory paragraph with me and I'll show you. So A, tortoises are some of the longest lived creatures in nature. They can live so long that scientists have yet to fully document the lifespan of these hard-shelled reptiles. Reports, however, indicate that certain species of tortoise can live up to 200 years, far longer than the average human lifespan. The reason tortoises live so long are evolutionary and biological, though the population of these ancient creatures is declining due to low reproduction rates and increased predation. Okay, so here I ask myself, what is this introductory paragraph about? It explains that tortoises are the longest living animals because of evolution and biology, but they are in danger of extinction. Okay, so I've basically taken the full paragraph and I've summarized it in this one sentence here. Okay, now also what I'm doing, and I would actually do this at home, is I would visualize this and I would draw a little simple picture of my visualization just to start my brain really capturing this information. Okay, so I have my tortoise. Okay, and I would draw a little, you can improve your art skills. So I would draw my little tortoise like that. Okay, and I would remember to include myself. When you include yourself in the information and what you see, the brain captures that information much more effectively. So for me, it's been a lifelong childhood dream of mine to ride a tortoise. So I would actually have my pet tortoise here, Tonto. And my pet tortoise, Tonto, very happy tortoise, he'd be well fed. He'd have a little leash on him like that. And I would probably have a saddle to make the ride a bit more comfortable. And there I am on my tortoise. And my tortoise is very old. He's got a beard. He's like, 150. We met when he was 100. And 10. and there you go. There's my long-lived tortoise that I have taken under my protection to make sure that he continues to live long and healthy. So I'm visualizing the information, okay? And by training yourself to do this, when you get to your IELTS exam, your brain will just click. It will function in a much more effective way to process the information clearly and accurately, okay? This takes practice, okay? Fuang, I don't think tortoises have a beard other than mine and the one in Kung Fu Panda. But in real life, no, I don't think they have a beard. Maybe a mustache, but not a beard. Okay. All right, so this is the exercise, everybody. Now, I'm not going to get you to draw, but I will ask what you're seeing or what you're visualizing as you read, okay? So let's go to the website. aehelp.com. Again, this is the website, aehelp.com. Join the premium package by clicking the red button there, or you can try it out by clicking the green button. And then you go to your My Student account. And members, I'm specifically going to be looking for you in the chat this time. So open up the chat function. And I know some of you might be having some problems with the chat. It's okay. You might need to use a VPN, check that everything is okay on your end, and our techs are working diligently to upgrade the chat and make it work better and better. So use the student partner speaking, okay? and then we'll get into it. So I see Chayani Romelia is already in here. Okay, so please volunteer so that you can read. You'll see me, I'm master, and send me a message. Say, I want to volunteer. Romelia, I see that you're already volunteering. Chayani, Andrew, I know you're having a little bit of difficulty, but give it a shot, okay? Maybe use a different VPN service. I don't know, Andrew. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe use a different browser, different device, okay? Fuang, I see you in there as well. All right. Yeah, so Chayani, I didn't get to you yesterday, so I'll definitely get to you. Romelia, you had a chance yesterday, but I think I just said that you can start, so let's start with you. Romelia, are you ready? We'll give Romelia the first body paragraph here, and we've got, I think, 5 more paragraphs to go, so I need at least 5 volunteers if possible. Okay, Karina, I see that you're in there as well. Make sure to volunteer. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Romelia. How are you today?
Hello. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, Romelia, let's get to it. So whenever you're ready, start by reading paragraph B. Are you there, Romelia? I don't hear you suddenly. It seems like you're there, and the website is showing me that you're there. Okay, let me refresh the page. Oh, sorry, Romelia. We'll have to try it again. I heard you there suddenly, but then you're gone. Okay, Romelia, just send me another message there on the website as soon as you've logged in, and then I'll link up with you again. Okay, so I see MS as well. Yeah, so just keep sending me messages, students. I just refreshed the page on my end, so then I see lots of premium students in there as well. I think Romelia might have lost a connection on her end. I'm not sure. Okay, Romelia, I'll come back to you because it looks like you've just kind of dropped out, but let's try Chayani here, okay? And then Romelia, when you log back in, then I will give you a chance at the next paragraph, okay? So in the meantime, Chayani, if you're there, let me know. Okay.
Sir?
Hi, Chayani.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, Chayani, are you ready to read?
Yes, of
All right.
course.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, start with paragraph B here with nature.
Nature is incredibly diverse, but the common factor among creatures is the need to produce. Some creatures, such as humans, have small numbers of young, which are cared for diligently. Others, such as salmon, have no interaction with their offspring whatsoever. Instead, salmon rely on the sheer number of eggs which they lay. They lay so many eggs that some are bound to survive to adulthood, while some animals rely on care or vast number of eggs. The tortoise relies on the longevity of their life. Female tortoises can produce offspring for well over a century. This is one reason tortoises live so long, so they can reproduce many times, and thus continue the species.
Very nice, Chayani. Good reading.
Reproduction.
No, stop there. Okay, so the exercise here is comprehension. So what you want to do, Chayani, is as soon as you finish the paragraph like this, you want to ask yourself, what is this first body paragraph about? Okay, and then answer that. So Chayani, what is this first body paragraph about?
Mostly they talk about how the tortoises can make an offspring. I think so.
Yes, but I don't know if it's mostly that. So you said mostly it's about that. I think that's part of it, but it's not just that. So can you clarify a little bit more? I mean, think about the first half of the paragraph, what you're reading there.
Maybe comparing to the other animals such as salmon.
Yeah, okay, so can you try this again? Can you give me a little bit of a better summary?
No,
So
I'm confused right now.
So I would say the paragraph discusses the different methods of reproduction among animals, right? Animals, whereby tortoises rely on longevity. How long can a tortoise be a mummy?
Over a century.
Can you imagine, Chayani, being a mum for 100 years? You're like,
yeah.
right? So you're having a baby, and then your first baby is like a great granddaddy. That's my brother.
That
also,
must be my my grandma.
You're right, exactly. So quite amazing if you think about it. All right, now when you read this paragraph, Chayani, what do you actually see? What do you see in your mind's eye? So inside of your head, what kind of a picture do you see?
What kind of picture?
Yeah. What do you visualize?
Maybe how the exactly in this B paragraph.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I think how salmon can lay their egg and how female tortoises can lay their egg.
So I'll show you what I see, okay? You always want to practice visualization. Becoming a master of visualization is arguably the most powerful skill that you can develop as a human being, because our eyes are our main sense, and combine that with our brain and our imagination, it gives us great power. So what I would see here is I would see myself as a baby, okay? As a human baby, because it talks about the human baby. It says that, human babies are cared for by moms and dads very carefully. And I'm maybe looking at the water with tons of little salmon babies, okay? And then on the shore of this water, I see a very, very old turtle mom, okay? It's gonna be a much simpler turtle than before. So this is a very old turtle mom with nice long hair. Okay, so something like that. So, and this is me. It's always important to include yourself into the visualization. So basically, as you're reading the information, and of course, China, I'm not just telling you this, I'm telling everybody this. So as you're reading the information, you build the picture, right? You create the picture. Just like when you're reading a long novel, you eventually start to build the picture. In the IELTS, it's the same trick as when you're reading a story, like a storybook. But the difficulty or the challenge is that you have to do it much faster. So when you read a 200-page book, you have lots of time to build that picture of the main character and of the situation. In the IELTS, or when you're reading shorter articles, you have to build it very, very quickly. That's why a lot of magazines and newspapers, they have a lot of pictures because the articles are so short. But the trick is to be able to build those pictures just in your own head. Okay, so make sure to practice that, Chani, okay? And everybody else.
Got it.
All right, got it? Okay,
All
Chani,
right,
thank you so much for reading, and stay in there, hang in there for the questions, okay?
I have a question.
Go for it.
There's like a question like between like yes or no, not given there, and false, true, and not given. If I answered in the false, true, and not given, but I answered like yes or no, is that like
wrong?
Wrong?
Yeah, you lose marks. Absolutely. Yeah, for 100% sure. Yeah, we've had that question before, and yes, you do. So if you're doing the paper-based exam, you won't be able to do, in the computer-based exam, you can't make that mistake, because in the computer-based exam, you just like click on the true or false or not given. But in the paper-based exam, where you actually have to write the word, yes, and it's a bad one, and I've heard students complain. They're like, oh, I realized after the test that I did that, and then they got a lower mark because all of those questions were wrong. So you have to really pay attention. Yeah, for sure. Okay,
so I should write in the uppercase.
Yeah, for sure. For those use the uppercase. 100%. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Chani.
Okay,
Bye for now.
sir. Thank you, sir. Teaching me patiently.
You're very welcome. Bye, Chani. All right. Thumbs up for Chani. Romelia, if you got back in there, let's give it a go here. Romelia, I'm just going to call you, so I hope it's not going to surprise you too much.
Hello.
Hi again, Romelia. All right. Hopefully we'll be a
Hi
little
again. Everything seems to be all right now.
Okay. All right. Romelia, paragraph C, it's coming up on your screen. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and start reading from reproduction.
Okay, C, yeah? Okay. Reproduction, however, is not a cause of tortoises' longevity. The most fundamental cause of their longevity is their incredibly slow metabolism. A creature's metabolism is the rate at which they process food and energy. Some animals, such as the hummingbirds, have very fast metabolism in order to power their high energy existence. Conversely, tortoises have very slow metabolism because they have very few energy expenditures. In general, creatures with slow metabolism live longer than those with faster metabolism. Due to its low metabolism, the tortoise can live for up to a year without food or water. When explorers were traveling to the Galapagos Islands in the 18th century and 19th centuries, it was common for sailors to take tortoises on board the ship as they left the island. Since tortoises survived so long without food or water, they were able to provide the sailors with a very long-lasting supply aboard the ship.
Right, supply of fresh meat aboard the ship. My big fat head was in the way. You can just say it, Romelia. Your big fat head is in the way. I'll shrink my head down a little bit. I didn't see that, but I saw that after. Okay, Romelia, good. That was very nice, fast, fluent reading. Okay, good. So, Romelia, what is this paragraph about? What is this second body paragraph about?
About how metabolism influences their lifespan.
Okay, so metabolism as a key factor in the tortoises.
An impact on their longevity.
Lifespan, and I would even try to squeeze a bit of the example in there. So metabolism as a key factor in the tortoise's long lifespan. Lifespan should be one word. Lifespan, which makes them good food for sailors, right?
Yeah.
Because you can just take it on the boat, sail around the world, and they'll still be edible half a year later because they're just hanging out, not doing much. Those poor tortoises. Can you imagine being like a tortoise in the world today? You wouldn't have to worry about food prices and inflation. So you know how everybody these days is complaining that food is becoming so expensive? You can just be like, well, I'll just wait for 2024 and start eating then. Maybe the prices will go down by then. You can just wait it out, right? Be like the tortoise.
Exactly.
I won't buy bread for another year then. Okay, that would make it hard for companies to increase the prices so much, right? Okay, so jokes aside, but it's good for the brain to work that way. You remember the information. Romelia, what do you see when you read this paragraph about the metabolism and these sailors? What do you see?
What do you mean? What did I see?
Well, what do you visualize? What are the pictures that are created in your mind as you read this paragraph about metabolism and the tortoise and the sailor and the hummingbird?
Somehow the food chain. They are resistant creatures in harsh conditions and become food for the sailor.
Now, this is the trick, and this is what most people do, Romelia, is they explain what they think rather than express what they see. So what you're doing is you're explaining rather than seeing. So I'll show you what I would visualize if I were in your shoes and I was asked this question. I would see myself as a pirate on a ship. Okay, there's me. There's my pirate hat. Okay. You know how pirates usually have parrots sitting on their shoulder? Well, I don't have a parrot. I have a hummingbird, okay, on my shoulder. There's a hummingbird instead of a parrot. I'm a weird pirate that way. And there's my delicious tortoise that I'm going to eat a little bit later on. And here's my pirate ship, okay? So that's kind of what I would see, and that's me, okay? Always including myself, because when I include myself, my brain will hold that information. The brain loves information that it's attached to. Okay, so just creating this quick picture of me as a pirate on a boat with a hummingbird on my shoulders, looking at my food stock.
This was the context, just the context on how they discovered the. Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with this? So it's basically creating, because by creating this picture along with understanding what the paragraph is about, it's helping me catalog the information. A lot of IELTS students, Romelia, what they complain about is that they read the passage, they understand the passage, but then when they get to the questions, they forget everything. And then they're searching for the answers again. And the reason they're forgetting is because they're not making their brain remember what they read. Do you get what I'm saying with this?
Am I wrong if I say that if I were to take away only one word related to this paragraph would be metabolism?
No, I think it's okay to do that. So it's okay to boil it down to one key word, but we do want to go beyond that, right? Because here the IELTS is testing us on a lot more details than just a single word. So it will help. It will certainly help to do what you're saying, but it might not be completely effective for all types of questions. So to be more effective, I definitely recommend, composing a simple picture in the mind's eye, and also thinking about this full sentence response to what this paragraph is about. Okay?
Okay.
All right. But great reading and really nice, smooth, fluent, and good attention to punctuation as well, Romelia. So thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Okay. Bye for now.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year to you too. Bye. Okay, that was Romelia. All right, let's take somebody else. Phuong, are you ready? We're going to pick up some speed here so we can get to those questions. Phuong, ready? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. Oh, you beat my question marks. Okay, here we go, Phuong. Hi, Phuong.
Hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. Phuong, whenever you're ready, start with paragraph D, metabolism alone.
Okay, sir. Metabolism alone, however, does not explain the rate at which the turtle can live. Critical to the total longevity is their heart cells, which protect them from predators. Every long-lived creature in nature had a mechanism for rotation. Some animals have speed to effect a quick escape from predation. Some use intelligence to outwit predator. Some use poison against predator, and some have physical rotation like the tortoise. In addition to its hard outer self, the turtle is also a large animal, and in general, larger animals tend to live longer than smaller animals.
Nice. Okay, Phuong, what is this paragraph about?
Well, I think this paragraph about due to the turtle hard outer cell, it will protect them from danger, and they will live longer than many larger animals.
Not bad. So you captured a piece of it. The trick to doing this exercise really well, Phuong, is to capture as much of the paragraph as possible in as short a way as possible. So if you were to ask me what is this paragraph about, I would say animals that live long have protective skills, such as the shell for the tortoise. Okay? Because it's not just the tortoise that's mentioned in this paragraph either. It says that some animals are very quick, some animals are very smart. And then it says the tortoise has this big shell, right? So you want to capture as much of the paragraph as possible, and that will make it a lot faster when you get to the questions, where some of them might not be about the shell, but it will say something like, which paragraph talks about an animal that can escape quickly? And then this way you'll be able to remember that, oh, it's the one that has the protective skills, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, what do you see, Fuang, when you read this paragraph?
I see I'm a tortoise and I escape from many danger animal with my smart skill.
Okay, so you're a smart tortoise. All right. Sure, why not? I mean, me personally, sure, Fuang, if whatever works, right? Me personally, I would see myself in the jaws of an animal with sharp teeth, and I'm the tortoise here, and he's not able to eat me because I have this hard shell. So he's got me in his mouth, but he's not able to eat me because I have a hard shell, so I escape. Okay, so that's kind of what I would see. But yeah, if you're a smart tortoise and that's why you escape, why not? That'll work too, okay? All right. Fuang,
sir.
thank you so much for reading. Hang in there for the questions, okay? All right, I think, all right, she heard me. Bye, Fuang. Okay, let's have somebody else. Who else do we have in there? Karina, I see that you're in here. Would you like to give it a shot? I don't see you volunteering. Meanwhile, we have Raquea. Raquea, are you ready? Yes, absolutely. Raquea, premium student and a member. Are you ready? Ready, Raquea. Okay, and hang in there, students. You'll notice that when we do get to the questions eventually here, they'll be really fast because we have very clear understanding of the passage, okay? So, Raquea, if you're there, yep, here we go. Hi, Raquea. Oh, I kind of hear something. Raquea, are you there? It sounds like you have a weak connection. It's not coming through that strong. I don't hear you, or something is up with the microphone. Like I hear something, Raquea, but it's not a clear sound.
Okay. Can you hear me?
You sound like a robot from the future, Raquea, but it seems to be getting a bit better. Raquea, Raquea, check out what's going on with your internet connection there. See if there's maybe some other software, somebody else in the house that's watching a movie and slowing it down. Okay, and then I'll come back to you. Karina, yes, you can. Are you ready? Let's see if we can reach out to Karina. In the meantime, yeah, Raquea, just check it out. It's possible that you have something on your end that's slowing down the connection. It's usually when somebody sounds like a robot like that. Chen says, like a robot, yes. Chen, where are you in here? Nice, it would be good to have you volunteer. Andrew, I see you in here. Are you able to volunteer?
Hello.
Hi, Karina.
Hi, Sir Adrian.
How are you? It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm great. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. I seem to be fighting off this cold fairly well, so I'm happy about that. Karina, are you ready to read?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready, start with a final cause, paragraph E here.
Okay. A final cause of tortoise longevity is their island habitat. Animals which live on islands tend to live longer because they are kept separate from many of the most dangerous predators. instead of developing energy inefficient methods of keeping safe from predators and thus requiring an increased metabolism. Tortoises are free to allocate their energy to extending their lifespan and maintaining a very low metabolism.
Awesome. Short but sweet. What is this about?
This is about tortoises that save their energy for their lifespan.
Why? Why are they able to save their energy for their lifespan?
Because they are maintaining a low metabolism.
And why are they able to do that?
Because they use the energy efficiently.
And why are they able to do that? So there's a key point here in this paragraph. Really pay attention, Karina. The trick is really pay attention to the topic sentence. Just read the first sentence again. A final cause.
A final cause of tortoise longevity is their island habitat.
Right.
Oh.
So there's a very important subject that's being introduced here. So where does the tortoise live?
In their island.
That's right, on an island, right? So that's why they're able to move so slow and not worry about all of the different pressures of life, right? And it's kind of funny. It's true for a lot of animals. So even us humans, right? When, I don't know about you, Karina, but if I'm thinking about a really relaxing place to go for vacation, one of the first places that comes to mind for me is an island where I can sit on the beach and not worry about life, and people can't call me, people can't bother me, right? I'm on the island like the tortoise. So, so it's not just the tortoise that can escape the problems of life on an island. It's a lot of animals that can do that, including humans. So the tortoise can save their energy for a long life because they live on islands, right?
Right.
Okay, so what do you see, Karina, when you read this?
I'm sorry?
What do you picture? So what do you see inside of your head when you read this paragraph?
Tortoise live in their island.
Yeah, and become the tortoise. So what you should see is something like this, where you're this tortoise, and you are hanging out on this island, drinking a margarita on the beach with a little umbrella in it. I don't know if that picture's clear for everybody, but it's a lawn chair that is on the beach, and you're the tortoise, and here's the ocean wave. And there you are. You're this tortoise. You're drinking a margarita. You don't worry about life. You're on an island. Okay? So maybe something like that, Karina.
Yeah. Yeah, they live their best life in their island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the margarita drinking tortoise on an island. That's my future reincarnation if I'm born on Earth again. That's what will be for me, I think. So that's what you want to see, and then you'll remember it. Okay, Karina?
Okay.
All right. You can even see Chayani in the chat. There's got the tortoise and the margarita. So, all right. Karina, I'm really happy you volunteered. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Because I had a lot of trouble with the connection, and I just volunteered today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's perfectly clear right now. I don't know how you set it up, but whatever you did, it's perfectly good. So tomorrow when we do the speaking sessions, speaking part 2 and part 3, just join in the same way and make sure to volunteer for some of those speaking questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Karina.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
All right, everybody, give Karina a thumbs up. Ask each other. So it seems like a couple of you are having some issues trying to use the chat, but some of you have really figured out what is working. So Raquea, if you're having an issue, maybe send a message to Karina, even in the chat. You guys can discuss it, okay? So try that out. All right, let's see. Who else do we have here for the final paragraph? Let's try John Vincent. I don't see anybody else here. Zoraida, you had a chance, I think, yesterday. So let's give John a chance here and then we have the questions still. So if you're in the class, you can try the questions. Okay, John, are you ready? to help me read this last paragraph? John says yes. John's another one of our premium students. Beautiful to have you with us, John. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, John. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Hello. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking, John. All right,
Yeah.
John. Thanks for volunteering. Thanks for being a premium student. How are you liking the website and the course?
Well, so far it's good. I'm able to study every day.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. All right, John. Whenever you're ready, read paragraph F for me, please.
Okay. Though tortoises have developed an extraordinary ability to live a long life, today this ability is threatened by a number of factors. First and perhaps most significant is predation by humans. In the past, tortoises and humans did not commonly coexist, but today tortoises are killed by poachers who value the tortoise's shell. Second, um, the contamination of tortoise habitats has put tortoise young at risk. For the first 5 years of a tortoise's life, they are prone to predators such as rats. Originally, such predators did not share the tortoise's island's habitat, but though the introduction of rats and other species to the habitat, it has put the tortoises at risk. Finally, the tortoise's slow metabolism means that they are very slow and virtually incapable of adapting to these new pressures. If tortoises populations are not looked after, they will most certainly become extinct.
Very nice, John. Very nice reading.
Yeah.
John, your pronunciation is
Thank you.
fantastic. Really nice pronunciation. Every word is very, very clear. Have you lived in an
thank you.
English community or country?
No. Actually, I'm from the Philippines.
Okay. Yeah, but lovely pronunciation.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
John, what is this paragraph about?
I think it's about the life of a tortoise becoming at risk by humans. They become targets by humans to I don't know.
The poachers, right? The human hunters who hunt
Yeah, the
them for the
poachers.
shells.
Yes.
Yeah, and John, when you're doing this, so in the real IELTS, what you want to do is you want to be able to summarize the paragraph within one sentence as accurately as possible. So I think you're on the right track. I do think you're missing pieces. So I would say that it is the dangers that threaten the existence of tortoises today, including humans, pollution, rats, and their inability to change, right? So that's that last part there, their inability to change. So the tortoises, because they're so slow, these poor little creatures or big creatures, they can't really change. It's not like they can suddenly run away or fly away to another place, right? So yeah, so it's so that's it in a one sentence kind of concept, right? So it's the different dangers for the existence of tortoises, including humans, predators, pollution, and so on, right? And their inability to change. Okay, and if we visualize this, we should probably see that we're this tortoise and we're trying to run away from humans and rats, and we can't because we're so slow. So that's what I would see. Okay, John, thank you so much for reading the final paragraph. Hang in there. We're going to do the questions right now. Keep it up, okay?
Yes, thank you, sir. It's my first time. Thank you.
That was awesome. Make sure you come back again, okay? And volunteer again, John.
Okay.
All right, bye
Thank
for
you.
now.
Thank you.
All right, that was John. Really nice, really good reading. Okay, so when you have that level of fluency, all you need to really focus on is improving the coherence. Okay, let's answer some questions here. So we've got a couple more premium students in here. Rahim John, let's see if Rahim John can help me out with some questions. Rahim John, are you ready? We've read the paragraphs, we've visualized them. Keep that visual log in your head with everything that we've seen so far. And that will really help us answer these questions nice and fast. We've got about 15 minutes left in the class, which should be enough to do this, okay? So Rahman John says yes. Rahman John? Rahim Jan Sharipov, if you're there, pick it up. Rahim Jan, are you there? I can't seem to hear you, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe check the internet connection. Check to see if you're not using a connection that's limited by international laws or firewalls or something. So if you're routing through China, or some parts of Asia right now are really tough, even some parts of Europe, unfortunately. So Rahim John, you might need to use a VPN. Check it out. I'll reach out to somebody else in the meantime. Zoraida, let's see if Zoraida is available. Zoraida, are you ready? In the meantime, Rahim John, check out what's going on maybe with another student. As you can see, it should work. It works with a lot of students. So it's usually refreshing the page. Students sometimes works too. That's what I do sometimes. If it times out or something happens, I just refresh the page. Okay. Hi, Zoraida.
Hello. Yes, I am here.
You are there. How are you doing, Zoraida?
I am feeling fine.
Good, good, good. Zoraida, I'm going to ask you to help me out with some of these questions. You've been following the class as far as I can see, which is great. Okay, so let's do this. Can you read number 1 for me here?
Number 1 question?
Yeah, the one that starts with factors that lower.
Factors that lower tortoise's life expectancy.
Okay. Which paragraph do you think that is?
Agents that adversely affect. It is in paragraph 1.
So we've got paragraphs A to F. And we visualize these, so it should be fairly straightforward. Paragraph.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I will change my answer.
Okay, good thing this is not a game show. Go ahead. Which paragraph do you think it is?
The last paragraph.
Absolutely. We just read it, right? So paragraph F. Thank you.
I was thinking of the reasons of their longevity.
Yeah, no, it's factors that lower. Yeah, it's it's a good point, Zoraida. We really have to pay attention to these qualifying words like lower, right? Lower. Humans, rats, right? Predators, chemicals, pollution. Okay, number 2. Can you read that one for me?
Tortoises being used. It's covered. Being used as a food source.
Okay, which paragraph is that?
Letter E.
Okay,
it's
maybe.
all about in the. It's all about they are being used. No, A, B, C. Letter D.
Okay, who's eating these poor little tortoises?
The seafarers. I mean,
the seafarers, the pirates, Pirate Romelia.
Pirates.
Right? Pirate Romelia. Romelia says, I read it. Yeah. It's Pirate Romelia with her pet hummingbird.
Out the drawing that you did.
Right? Now you see why the visualization is so important, right? Notice how you think of the visualization even before you think of the summary, because visualization is so powerful, okay? So Romelia read this, and I think it was something like D. I mean, I can check. Do I see it? It was somewhere in the end there, and it wasn't. So I look, but you're in the right range, and that's good enough, okay? So you knew that it was somewhere in the middle-ish of the passage, and that's what's most important. And then we see it here, right? Because we remember it was the sailors at the end of the paragraph, the example, and we see that here, right? When explorers were traveling the Galapagos, the sailors were taking them on the ships and eating them because they would just live for so long on the ship without food and water. So they were basically like storage containers for food and water, right? The tortoise. Okay, so that was C, but you were in the right range, okay? All right, Zoraida, keep going. Number 3.
Question number 3. Separation from predators contributes to their long lifespan. Huh. It is the second to the last where the tortoise are in the island, the habitat.
That was
So
Karina, being the tortoise, sipping her margarita on the beach, right? So F is the last one, so then it has to be?
the one, letter E.
Yes, right? Absolutely. And so here you notice that when we practice this, when we start doing this regularly, the answers start to come pretty quick. And even if we don't know exactly which paragraph, we know pretty close to where it is in the passage. Okay, number 4. Keep going.
Some animals have different methods of ensuring the species lives on.
Mm-hmm.
Creatures make sure that they survive. Oh my goodness.
Remember the baby. Remember the baby.
Yes. I think it is. I think it is in letter B. B or C.
B or C. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right. So
Creatures survive.
B. Nature is incredibly diverse, but common among all creatures is the need to reproduce. Some creatures, such as humans, have small numbers of young, right? Salmon have lots of offspring, and tortoises,
Yeah.
they live really long, that 100-year-old mom, right? So you're right. You're doing great, Zoraida. Know how fast. So in the real exam, when you use this strategy, these questions would literally only take you 10, 15 seconds each. So fast, right? Okay, Zoraida, number 5, last one.
I hope I can get this. Tortoises have difficulty adapting to new environment pressures. That is the pressure. I think it could be the last paragraph also.
It is. Yeah, there you go. F
Yeah.
again. So pay attention to these instructions in your IELTS exam that I'm highlighting right now. Note, by the way, you may use any letter more than once. So in this case, F is used twice. It's used for number 1 and for number 5. Absolutely. So you got it. You're confident. And see, when you visualize, when you know what each paragraph is about, then you're not only fast, but you're also confident. And it's those two that you want. You want to be fast and you want to be confident. The question shouldn't take 15 minutes of the 20 minutes. That's a big mistake. So when students are sitting the IELTS exam and they spend 5 minutes skimming or trying to read the passage, and then they spend 15 minutes on the answers, that's actually bad logic. So that's bad test strategy. It should be the other way. You should spend 10, 12 minutes on the reading part, making sure that you understand it, and then spend 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes on the questions, answering them confidently. Okay. Unfortunately, what happens to a lot of students out there is they do the opposite. They try to read it really fast. They don't understand it. And then they spend all the time on the questions, hitting their heads, going, what is this? What is this? And that's bad, right? So this is the way we want to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, Zoraida, great job. Thank you so much for helping me
Thank
with
you
those.
very much.
Yeah, that was great. Bye for now, Zoraida.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, that was Zoraida. That was great. That was good. Okay, hopefully everybody is following along here. Rahim John, let's give you another chance here. Maybe you figured out what's going on. Okay, there's a problem with the connection. Rahim John, let's try it again. Are you ready? Maybe we'll get a good connection this time. Here we go. All right. Andrew, I see you in here as well. Give it a shot. Maybe it'll work. Okay. You don't know until you try. All right. I know you said you were having difficulty connecting with some other people yesterday, but who knows? You might be able to connect here. So Rahim John, let's give it a shot. Hello, Rahim John. Do you hear me? I know you're there. I just don't know if we can hear each other. I can't hear you, so definitely something with the audio. It must be the connection because, I mean, we can type to each other, but we just can't hear each other. So as soon as there's more data, It seems like it's bugging out. So okay, let's try somebody else. I think MS here was volunteering. Ms. Are you ready, Ms.? I need somebody to help me with these next questions. Yeah, Ms., are you ready? I'll give you a shout, give you a chance here, give you a call. Okay, Ms., let me know. I know you said you want to volunteer, but okay, you know what? I'll give you a call. Here we go. I think you can hear me. Pick up. All right, Ms., I'm not sure what's going on there, but no worries. We're starting to run short on time either way, so don't give up. We'll have more coming in the next class here in a minute, but let's do these questions together, okay? So let's do them together. Here we go. Complete the sentences below, okay? Choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer, all right? Number 6, members, just put your answers into the chat. So the causes of the tortoise's long life are biological, and you should not have to search or look for this in the text. You should basically remember this answer. However, it was in the beginning, and if I really needed to, I could search for the word biological, and that would help me. Fuang and Chayani have the answer. They say it's evolutionary. Yeah, that's right. And if I really want, I can look. It was in the very beginning here. It says, the reasons the tortoises live so long are evolutionary. There's the answer. And biological, right? So there's the word I was searching for there. But you shouldn't have to search for all of these. You should be able to answer some of these without looking. So number 7, while salmon lay thousands of eggs at once, tortoises rely on their something to continue the species. Now here for this one, if I'm thinking really clever, number 4, when I answered that question, that also gives me this information for number 7. So questions help other questions. This should be, again, fairly easy. You should not have to really search too much. So while salmon lay thousands of eggs at once, tortoises rely on their something to continue their species. On there, and I think Andrew used this word earlier in the class. The answer is that's okay, Monsieur. We'll have another class coming up in 30 minutes, so just make sure that you're on time for that one. I see what you're saying in the chat there, okay? So here it would be longevity, right? Should have been the answer there. Longevity. Okay. All right. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. There you go. Longevity. Live long is okay. They would take that answer, Fuang, because they do say that. And lifespan would be okay too. So longevity, lifespan, and live long, all of those are okay. So Fuang, live long is okay. They would take that. 2 words. It's perfectly suitable for longevity. Okay. All right, students, I'm running out of time. So I will leave 8, 9, 10 to 13 for you. So the true, false, not given. You remember the strategy from last week's class for that one. If somebody didn't see that class, check out the YouTube channel. Look for the reading session from last class, or look at the YouTube channel for the true, false, not given strategy. There's a video that we put up there that specifically tells you what to do for true, false, not given. So send me the answers to these questions to my email. I'll show you my email here. This is my email here, 2 email addresses. You can send me answers here and I will send you the answer key back. Okay, so it's a good little homework exercise. And for all of you who are watching this class, we were using our websites, ahelp.com for academic IELTS and gltshelp.com for general IELTS. These websites are the textbooks for these live classes. So if you like these classes, subscribe to the channel and get notifications and sign up for the premium package on the websites to get access to all of these materials, all of the practice exams, all of the interactive features, just by clicking on this big red button. Again, it's a one-time payment, it's lifetime access, so you're going to be great. General IELTS, it's the green background here. In 30 minutes, students, I will be hosting another class, which will be a writing class, a writing task 2. It will be a question from a past exam that was in, I think, September of 2022 this year. So we'll look at that task 2 question, we'll discuss it, plan it, and write a Band 9 essay. That's coming up in 30 minutes, and I hope to see all of you there. So go for a short walk, stretch your legs, refresh yourself, and come back. Meet me again for some more IELTS in half an hour. I'm Adrian. Thank you, members. Thank you, readers. Have a lovely break. See you soon. Bye.